guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a little flip through of one of my journals. So this is a really special journal and one I'm really proud of as well. It's a traveller's notebook and it's basically documents the time that I spent in London last year, no, 2019. Me and my best friend went to London and it's a trip we'd planned for years. We always said we'd go, and it did take a while, but we eventually went, and we only went for 2 nights, 3 days, but we packed as much as possible as we could. And she loves London, she goes all the time, and it's basically like her hometown because she knows so much about it, but I'd never been, so she was basically a tour guide for me, and we went and saw a lot of the sights and did lots of shopping and just had a really good time. And it's the kind of thing I'd really like to do again, so it's nice to look back on memories when you can't actually go out and do things at the moment. So it's a really nice little memory keeping project that I'm really glad I did. So I'll show you it. So this traveller's notebook cover is actually from Liberties. So I got it when we went to Liberties. Liberties was one of the places I really wanted to go. And my friend Heather, she was always telling me how much I'd love Liberties because they have this amazing little stationery shop, and just the whole aesthetic of Liberties is just right up my street. So it was really inspirational to just go and look around. But I did get a little souvenir, and it was this traveller's notebook from the little stationery shop. So it was great to put the actual traveller's notebook in here that I made. So I'll show you. It did come with these little pockets in it, and it came with 2 inserts that were just kind of, well, this one's dotted, it's cute, it's got sunshine and rainbows on there, and this one is big plans, and it's got like a monthly grid and then some lines, which is really nice as well, and they're really nice details. But I'd already started this before I got this. I started this before I actually went to London, so that's why I've got this one in here. And I just kept the pocket in. To be honest, I'd probably eventually make my own one in a nicer paper because I feel like this blue doesn't really match, but I just keep like little bits in here, excess photos and stuff in the front and back there. So this is really fat, but I quite like a traveller's notebook to be fat. I do kind of wish I'd done a bigger format album for this because some of the pictures, they're so tiny in here. It's a shame that they're not bigger, but at the same time I really love this. It was my first proper traveller's notebook, so yeah, I really wanted to do that style. So I was set on that style, so I just went with it. And on the front I actually made this insert myself. It's just kind of a piece of cardboard with a signature sewn in. And I've covered the cardboard with some paper I got from Paper Chase years ago, and I've been holding on to it for years. I mean years, probably about 7 years I've been holding on to this paper. Knew there would be something I'd want to do with it eventually, and I just thought it was perfect for this because it actually has a Big Ben on it. It's a travel themed, it does have an Eiffel Tower on it as well, but I just thought this was perfect for this. And then at the end of creating this, because it got so fat and bulky, I thought I would reinforce the spine, or I might have done that before, and I must have done that before because it's actually under the signature. Oh no, I'm not sure, but anyway, that's a good reinforcement technique for the spine, just to put a big thick piece of washi tape over it. And then because this is such a busy paper, I didn't really go too much with the decorating because I wanted this to shine through. Just did a strip of grid paper and some washi tape, and then thickers alpha stickers for London, and then some smaller number stickers for 2019. So I'm really pleased with the cover. I'm pleased with the whole thing, really. Yeah, I really love it. So before I went, this is what I did. So I kind of set it up. So I did like a packing list. This is a really simple page and a nice one to get started before you go on your trip. I also have a pocket here which I made. It's just scrapbook paper, and I've just popped some stickers there and some little scraps of the papers that I was using, and just decorated it. It's very decorated, this, so I'm not going to talk through too much, but yeah, you'll see a lot of washi tape, a lot of little stickers like this, and yeah, I used a lot of my American craft sticker books were great for this because especially the Maggie Holmes one, that one really went with this kind of colour scheme I've got going. So yeah, you can see these little stickers here used for bullet points there from one of the sticker books. I'll link those down below. If you've never seen them, I'm sure you have. If you watch this sort of thing on YouTube anyway, I'm sure you have seen them, but they're just these sticker books. I don't know if you can still get them, but I'll link them if I can. And they are pretty expensive, but they come with so many stickers. So nice. I wish they made these all the time, but then I'd probably have a room full of stickers, so maybe not. Maybe that wouldn't be the best idea, but I love these. Definitely check these out. I'm lucky to work in a craft shop, and I got these for, they still weren't cheap, but I got them for less than, you know, what most people would pay. So yeah, I got pretty much all of them. I won't show you all of them, although maybe I'll do a video. If you're interested in seeing that, please do let me know. So yeah, packing list again with my thickers, alphabets, and then the smaller alphabets. Some little stickers off AliExpress which went really nicely because they're kind of like bits and bobs that you might take with you. So that's the packing list. And then I think I set this up before I went as well. So I basically did like a little watch list, a little playlist. So the songs that we listen to, and I still need to fill this in because I can't for the life of me remember what we actually watched. I remember the sort of thing we watched, like Friends episodes and stuff, but I can't remember the exact ones. But we definitely watched the one with Ross's wedding because we have this obsession over London and going to London and watching the Friends London episode. So yeah, that's definitely in there. And these are just really nice ways of memory keeping. And I think pretty much the rest of it I did once I came back and once I had all my photos and everything. So this page here was the train journey. Got a nice little photo and the little train tickets in the pocket. Put the date on. So every day, every time it was a new day, I put a date on. So Monday the 3rd of June was the first one. And then as soon as we got to London, we put our bags where we were staying and we went straight through Kensington Gardens. And obviously, if you've been there, it's a beautiful place. This just makes me want to go back so much. And I had such a fun time at decorating these pages up. So some of the pages I used in the signature, yeah, I just used white card and alternating between white card and this kind of grid paper. But this grid paper is quite thin. It's like out of a maths book, but I really like the aesthetic of it. So it has held up quite well, to be fair, with all these big thickers on and stuff like that. But some of the time I put in some scrapbook paper. You can see here I've laid up lots of papers, and that's kind of what I do in my journals anyway. So then, yeah, we went to Kensington Gardens, gorgeous, walked through to get to Westminster. And when we got to Westminster, we had a ferry trip and London Eye booked. So we went on the ferry down the Thames, which was really nice. So I hope you can see in the camera. It was lovely. The weather was lovely. It was just so nice. And then after the ferry trip, we went up the London Eye and obviously saw all the other things while we were going down the Thames. So like Houses of Parliament and Tower of London and all that kind of stuff. We didn't do a whole lot. We didn't do any guided tours. I think if we went again, we'd definitely go inside the Tower of London and stuff. Heather's done all that stuff before. I just really wanted to see kind of London basics at first, so, and I didn't want to spend too much money back then, but definitely now I've been, I would definitely be willing to do all the other stuff. So yeah, this is the London Eye. This is where we were on the London Eye, and this little picture of the London Eye, and this sticker from the sticker book was great. So it's got like a map on it. It was cool. This actually, this postcard I got from a magazine or something. It has Big Ben on it, so I just thought that made a really nice tip out. And there's a lot of tip outs in here because you're so limited with space. It's nice to create different kinds of tip outs and stuff. Okay, I have tried to zoom out, but every time I zoom out it unfocuses, so I hope this is okay, just like this. So this page was after we went on London Eye in Westminster and all that. We walked back, and by this time it was evening, so it was a lovely evening, and we walked back through like Hyde Park and round to Buckingham Palace, and we saw some lovely little swans on the river coming up to Buckingham Palace, which was really nice. And I had this lovely sticker which was great to go with it. And this is this Westminster Abbey, I think. And just the signs in London are so cool, like just taking a picture of them look really cool. Now the funny thing about Buckingham Palace, it's not really funny but it was worth noting, if you like, was when we went, that was the day that Donald Trump came to see the Queen. So there wasn't a massive amount of crowd or anything. There was a bit of a crowd and a bit of a protest going on outside, which kind of added to the fun in a way because you just don't see it very often. We also saw some helicopters come in onto the roof, so it was an experience, and it was kind of funny because at this point we were really hungry and we were trying to get back to where our Airbnb thing was so we could go and have some Pizza Hut. But because there was quite a bit of crowding, there was only certain places where you could cross the road, so we waited ages to cross the road at this one point and we just weren't able to cross. So we started walking again further down, and as soon as we started walking they let everyone cross, so we like ran back. So we've got loads of funny stories about this trip. There's so many things. So yeah, it was funny. But anyway. Next day we went, so we did get our Pizza Hut, and that Pizza Hut was like one of the best tasting Pizza Huts ever because we were so tired and we'd walked so far. Well, for us, I mean, so some people it might not be that far, but yeah, and we were exhausted from the train and everything. So yeah, it was a very nice Pizza Hut. So the next day we got up, Tuesday 4th of June, and we went first of all to Portobello Road. Now, like I said, we did try and pack a lot of stuff into these 3 days, so we decided on this day, this middle day, we were going to go to Portobello Road because I wanted to go. We had a look in some of the shops. There wasn't much of a market on, but we got like a nice picture of the street and different things. And then this is just general London pictures here. And then we got the bus to Portobello Road, and then we got the tube. Oh no, then we went to the Japanese gardens in one of the parks. And this is just the map which I put on the middle page because I thought that was dead nice. And I just added some little bits of, so I had some London fabric which I added there. Then we went to the Japanese gardens where we met a lovely little squirrel, and honestly, the squirrel, if you've been to London you probably already know, the squirrel was coming up and eating out of our hand. It was so cute. We had some leftover brioche in our bag from breakfast or something, so we were giving it a little brioche. I wouldn't recommend to feed, you know, wild animals, but I think, you know, it was just a little bit of brioche and it came right up to us and took out of our hand, and it was so cute. So we called it Cyril, and I did a page dedicated to Cyril because he deserves it. Look, and I have so many nice nature washies, I just had to use those. Very cute. And then we went to the Japanese gardens, and they're just beautiful. Underrated place. Heather knew of it and she was like, I have to take you here because she knows I love anything Japanese kind of culture and stuff. So that was really nice to go to. And we saw some little frogs and stuff. It was just the wildlife. You wouldn't really expect in a big city like that for there to be so much wildlife and so much nature, but there are some beautiful places. So then once we'd done that, and it was about lunchtime by this point, we went ahead on our shopping trip. Now we went down Oxford Street, we went to Covent Garden, and this took up the majority of the afternoon. So this is like a shopping trip rundown, and this is all the stuff I bought, like my little haul from London. And then I've got Liberties in here, and Liberties is just such a beautiful building. It's got haberdashery on the top floor. It's got so much lovely artwork. It's amazing. It is amazing. So yeah, and then obviously I bought this traveller's notebook from Liberty. So I got a little bag, cut a piece of the bag out. I got some buttons from the haberdashery which I put in this little baggie that they gave me, and my receipt in there. So it's like a pocket. And then I've got a fancy paper clip here just to keep it all nice and neat. And the Moomin store as well. I love anything kind of Moomin, so that was definitely somewhere I needed to go. And I got these stickers from there that I've put on the spread. I've got some Moomin washi tape and the receipt, which is kind of faded now, but yeah, I love that. And that shop as well was just so lovely. Even if you didn't really like the stuff they sell, it's just such an experience to go into these beautiful shops. You just don't really get them where I live. They just make such a lovely effort. So Kiki K here, did a spread on Kiki K again. I bought a load of stuff, got a bag, and the bag was so pretty I just had to use it as like a background. Took a picture of the store, just did a nice little spread there. And then this is Hatchard, so this is the Queen's bookshop. It's basically a bookshop that the Queen herself has, I'm not entirely sure what it is. Heather, let me know in the comments what it is about, what it makes it the Queen's bookshop. I think she might actually go there for her books or something, I'm not sure, but it's a really nice bookshop anyway. And yeah, so I did a page on that, and I bought a book from there. Got a little bookmark in it, so I've popped that on the page there as well. And this is the receipt in here from the Queen's bookshop, and that is just a picture of, I think, coming up to Trafalgar Square. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, so we spent the whole day kind of around there. We had some dinner in TGI Fridays, our favourite place to go. And yeah, it was amazing. We did a lot of walking. Again, we were exhausted, but somehow we found some energy in ourselves, and we decided let's go back to Westminster at night, which again was a really good experience. It's all lit up and it's really nice. It's a completely different place at night, so I definitely recommend to go back at night. And we had some pictures near the London Eye. It was a really good day, that. And then on Wednesday the 5th, the last day we were there, we packed in the last few bits we wanted to do, which was the Natural History Museum, which is a really cool place to go. It's free and it's just amazing. There's so many, it's just probably the best museum you can go to. And we had loads of fun there, and there was a really cool exhibition on where they had this great big room with a huge moon in, and it was really cool. You can see we had some pictures, so that was really cool. Got a little postcard from the shop, and that's a receipt on the back there. At the Nelson's column. I think we went back there on the last day as well. We went back and did some last bits of sightseeing, and then we went to Camden as well. And by this point we were very exhausted, but it was still really nice to go and see all the little stores on the market, and we got some little Polaroid pictures there. It was a really good trip, and just looking back on this is really nice. It just makes me want to go back though. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope it's given you some ideas. My journals tend to be very, very busy and lots on them, and it might not be your kind of style, but I hope it's kind of inspired you to create something similar. Maybe if you've been on a trip before the lockdown and that, and you just want to remember some nice memories, it might be a nice project to do now. Or just look back through your old journals. It's really nice just to remember the good times, and I'm sure we'll be back there soon, and hopefully I'll do another little journal. But this is my first trip to London, and it was really nice, and I'm glad I documented it. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you like this content and you'd like to see more, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.